In terms of art, architecture, and science, the ancient Egyptians were among the most extraordinary cultures of the old world. Nearly every other civilization was light years behind them in development. Many ancient Egyptian discoveries therefore scare and shock rock archaeologists, and you're going to see them in this video. The Temples of Abu Simbel. The two stone temples here represent Ramses II's single largest construction project, and they were carved into a mountainside not far from the modern Egyptian Sudanese border in 1244 BC. The larger temple's entrance was guarded by 4 colossal statues of the pharaoh, and inside were built several apartments, so that the sun may shine on 2 days each year and illuminate yet another Ramses statue. To make room for the Awan High Dam, the temple was buried under sand and left for dead until it was found in 1817 by Italian historian Giovanni Belzoni. In the 1960s, the entire temple complex was moved to a higher location. Tutankhamun. Howard Carter, an archaeologist, discovered King Tutankhamun's burial site during the 18th dynasty. For approximately 3,000 years, the tomb of King Tut, which is located in the Valley of the Kings on the western bank of the Nile, has been shielded from thieves by debris. The Carter's team persisted despite the reports of a curse, because it is only imperial tomb from the Valley of the Kings that was discovered in a state that is thought to be substantially complete. They covered the tomb of Tut, whose mummy wore a lovely gold death mask that revealed it was the richest moment in Egyptian history. World famous is the tomb of King Tutankhamun, who ruled the 18th dynasty between 1336 and 1327 BC. Its discovery is still regarded as one of the greatest archaeological discoveries of all time, and the monument and its contents have come to represent Egypt. Ramses II, the 19th dynasty pharaoh, was born in 1302 BC and ruled for more than 60 years. He established himself as the most powerful pharaoh of ancient Egypt throughout his reign by ordering the construction of so many massive monuments, such as the temples of Abu Simbel, formerly situated in the Valley of the Kings. His tomb was moved to Deir el-Bahr to keep it safe from potential theft. Archaeologists found his mummy and a huge number of other mummies in a hidden storehouse in Deir al-Bahri in 1881. In 1970, the mummy received a famous passport. However, it started decomposing quickly and had to be brought to Paris for diagnosis and treatment of a fungus infection. The mummy was exhibited at the Cairo Egyptian Museum at that moment. The Pyramids of Giza Kingdom. Between 2575 and 2130 BC, these huge temples were built for the 3 pharaoh dynasties of Khnum, Khafre, and Menkaure. The ancient Greek historian Herodotus conjectured that 1 million laborers struggled for 20 years to build the biggest pyramid, the Great Pyramid of Khufu. However, no one is certain how or why the Egyptian pyramids were erected. When the first professional examination was conducted there in 1880, archaeologists had no way of knowing how much money had been held there in the past because thieves had stolen many of their possessions throughout the years. All 3 pyramids have been looted both internally and externally throughout history, both ancient and medieval. The upshot is that the pyramids are considerably smaller than they were before the removal of their immaculate white limestone exterior coats. For instance, the Great Pyramid is only 451.4 feet, or 138 meters tall today. Only the very pinnacle of exterior limestone casting has survived in the case of coffee. Rosetta Stone. Near the Egyptian village of Rashid or Rosetta, Napoleon Bonaparte's officers discovered a black granite block inscribed on one side in 1798. The Rosetta Stone, which dates back to 196 BC, is thought to have been etched at Memphis to validate the 5th century king's rule over Egypt. It was written in hieroglyphic, demonic, and Greek, and when it was translated in 1822, the meaning of Egyptian hieroglyphics was revealed, opening a gateway into the past of ancient Egypt. Even though Egypt has long demanded its return, it has remained under British control even since the Napoleonic Wars, with Englishman Thomas Young and Frenchman Jean-Francis Champagne performed most of the deciphering. The Egyptian letters on the Rosetta Stone contain 6 identical cartouches. Long ago, people believed that the names of the kings might be traced in cartouches found in other texts. However, Young's discovery that the title of Ptolemy appeared in the cartouche demonstrated that this was untrue. Chep's ship, or Khufu's ship. Along with the 3 pyramids, the Giza site outside of the contemporary Cairo is home to the enormous metal sculpture known as the Sphinx, which represents the head of the pharaoh. At the base of the Great Pyramids, archaeologists discovered the wreckage of a ship in 1954 that was around 140 feet long and buried in the sand. The solar boat, which was discovered not far from which it was buried, bears the name of the pharaoh Khufu. Presently, it is the exhibit of a museum devoted to the discovery of the solar boat. Ahmed Yosef Mustafa, a senior Egyptian reporter, spent 14 years acquiring all the knowledge necessary to restore the ship to her previous splendor, following the discovery of 1,200 pieces of cedar wood snapped off.